So these are eerily close to my translator's So when I first tried translating this poem, I tried to include as many puns and alternate meanings as possible, and I just found that in English it was just nonsense. So I decided to focus instead on the central pun in the poem on Mallarmé's name, and how Infante's deconstruction of Mallarmé's name informs the rest of the poem. So for instance, the word armé, it can mean not only taking arms or arming yourself, but assembling, arranging, creating a stir, fussing over, complicating, commissioning, and sometimes displacing in order to piece together another whole. And so in order to maintain that incongruity within a sense of wholeness in the poem, I used a lot of slant rhyme in my translation, like in words like dismisses and mess, mount and mound, misunderstood and mise en scène. And in that way, I was sort of following digressions and indulging the same compulsion that Infante does when he's constantly punning, to put a more emphasis on sound than on sense, and letting that proliferate new associations and sort of metastasize in a way. So, pornographics. So-called Mallarmé, in spite of his marvelous critical acumen and his taste for a fine salon, dismisses that certain breed of literary parrots and their mess over his poem in Old Chicago, where he was misunderstood and hardly read at all. It was his Chinese annotator, Li Pun, an Orientalist that Singapore claims, even if he was born right on the Orinoco River, who took it upon himself to mount Titicaca and leave the aesthete's ashes in a mound, commissioning an aviary of dimensions vast, a mise en scène using knowledge taken from our native Putumayos, who plaited their own horses' manes and tails, no ponytails. Of course, his mother played her part in these disputes. She was the one who placed Stefan before someone who had already come to be called mistaken.